What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, Internet land? It's your boy Ced coming to you live here from Tampa. Happy Tuesday to everybody out there. Hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. Hold on, is it Tuesday or is it Wednesday? Oh, I got my days all mixed up. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. Hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. Super duper shout out to my Facebook friends and familia, my blogging family, my YouTube family, my regular friends and family. Hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. I wanted to pop in here and do this live that I've started, this whole series of lives that I've started this week. And I started on yesterday called Rules of Money. And it's rules of money that you should never break. So if you were on my live on yesterday, I talked about the first three rules that people should never break. And I went through the last three after that. I went through rules 1 through 6 on yesterday, kind of combined one video into one on yesterday. So every single day, for those of you that don't know, what I'm actually doing is that I put up a post in the morning and I talk about 3 rules of money. And then in the evening, I want to pop in and give live commentary on that specific post and what I meant in detail about that post. Now, before I start this video, as I start every single one when I talk about money, I want to let everybody know that I am not a financial advisor. I do not act like I'm one on Facebook. I am not acting like I'm one on television, on Instagram, on YouTube, or anybody's blogging platform either. I am simply telling you things that I do myself, things that I have done in the past, as well as things that I have learned from some very, very wealthy people and a lot of people that are inside of my circle. And because of what's going on with this whole Corona thing and everything that's going on with unemployment and people losing money and all that good stuff, I wanted to really go through this series. I was inspired actually on Sunday night to go through this series here this week. So I wanted to pop in here with today's video. Now, if you look earlier today, I talked about rules number 7, 8, and 9. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. Rule number 7, when it comes down to rules of money you should never break. Rule number 7, every time you get paid, you should pay yourself first. Every time you get paid, you should pay yourself first. One of the challenges that a lot of people tend to run into is on a weekly basis, there's a lot of people out there that live week to week. So you're making $400 a week, $500 a week, $800 a week, or whatever the case may be. And whatever you make on a weekly basis, the very first thing that you do is that you put the money aside for the rent, or you pay the car note, or you pay the power bill, or you pay the child support, or you pay the mortgage payment, or you pay the grass person, or you pay the pool person, or you pay the HOA fees, or you pay to get your car fixed or whatever, right? You're paying out all these other people first when you were the person that actually traded the 40 hours for the paycheck. You were the person that actually traded that sweat equity for the commission. You were the person that actually put in those 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours, whatever that you're currently doing right now to actually produce the income that showed up on a check that you picked up on a Friday, that you picked up on a Tuesday from a direct deposit or whatever the case may be. And you have to get into the habit. You have to get into the habit of saying, I actually went out there and created this income, so I have to pay myself first before I pay any of these bills. Before any of these bills get paid, I have to pay myself first. Now, there's a simple equation that you can actually utilize to follow this and be disciplined by doing it. Now, this equation is not going to work for everybody. I will tell you though, this equation will save you a significant amount of money. This equation will also keep you out of trouble at the end of the year. For those of you that are self-employed, maybe for those of you that are building a home-based business of some sort, or for those of you that work from home that receive a 1099, this equation will help you tremendously if you follow it with discipline on a regular basis. One of the challenges that a lot of people have when they work from home is that they do not have a boss. And that's a good thing. The bad thing about people who work from home is that they do not have a boss. And what a lot of people fail to realize is that over 90+% of the human race, over 95+%, is actually close to 97%. Let's just call it 97%. 97% of the human race needs to be told what to do. 97%. Sounds crazy, but it's true. 97% of the human race needs to be told what time are they supposed to be at work, what time should they go to lunch, what time are they going to get off, how much vacation time they get, blah, 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 blah. 97% of the human race needs that discipline inside of their life, or they won't do it. Then some of us go out and we become self-employed, and that discipline no longer exists. And one part of having a job is that there's some self-discipline that is instilled, not only from the fact that you've got to get up at a certain time, you've got to go to lunch at a certain time, you get vacation at a certain time, but you have the self-discipline of certain things coming out of your check that when you receive your check, you are getting the remaining of that. You follow me? So when you are self-employed, for an example, today is April the 15th. And because of the corona situation, they gave us an extension until July the 15th. So congratulations for all of you that owe the three-letter man a check. First of all, if you owe the three-letter man a check, you should be excited. You should be excited that you owe them a check. Now, you have an extension until July. You have an extension until July. And for those of you that are like, why should I be excited? Because I got to write a check. That means you made good money. If you receive a check, you didn't make enough money. Okay? Let's just call a spade a spade. If you're sitting at home and you're saying, I can't wait until I get this $1,200 stimulus check, it's because you made less than $70,000. Okay? They're only giving the stimulus check to people that made less than 70 grand. So if you are sitting still saying, hey, I can't wait to get the stimulus check, you made less than 70 grand. I think it's 70, 75 grand. And then if it's a husband and a wife, it's 150 grand combined income. So that self-discipline of having certain things taken out of your check, by default, you are left with the remains and you have to work with the remains. So let me give you this equation when it comes down to helping you pay yourself first. First things first, there's 100 pennies in a dollar. Never forget that. There's 100 pennies in a dollar. Not 110, not 150, not 183. There's 100 pennies in every single dollar. So with that being said, when we think about this, right off top, the three-letter agency, they're going to get their money. If you play duck, duck, goose with the three-letter agency, you are going to meet a jail cell. Feel free to ask Wesley Snipes. Feel free to ask Snoop Dogg. Feel free to ask Eve. Feel free to ask Willie Nelson. Feel free to ask all these people that played duck, duck, goose with the three-letter man. And if they didn't go spend a little bit of time away, they ended up on some crazy penalties and crazy interest. Now, for those of you that got these friends that are telling you, let me show you how to move this money around, and you can put it in this trust over here, and you can delay your taxes for X amount of time, and blah, 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 blah. You keep listening to those people. Majority of those people that sell those things don't have no money. That's why they're selling it to you. If your friend is an MLM trying to sell you a trust, your friend ain't got no money. I'm just calling a spade a spade. Your friend ain't got no money. Oh, I can get you this trust for $10,000. Okay, I'm going to show you how to only to pay 10% on your taxes. Okay, you keep paying 10% on your taxes, and you better be saving some canteen money at the same time because they're coming to get you. Learn not to play with anything that has three letters in it. IRS, DEA, CIA, FBI, CNN, CIA, anything that has three letters in it, learn to not play with it. I'm telling you right now, don't play that game. So out of those 100 pennies that you receive, right off top, 30 of those pennies are going to the man. Right off top. Ain't no need to try to play duck, duck, goose with it. 30 of those pennies are going to the man. So 30% of that check that you have, right off top, is going to the man. That leaves you with 70%. You've got 70%. Okay? Now, 10% of that should go towards savings right off top. Right off top. You're paying yourself first. You're paying yourself first. So you got 100 pennies. Your paycheck was $1,000. So you got a $1,000 paycheck. 300 of that is not even yours. Three-letter agency money. Gone. Now you got $700. Okay? Another 10%, you should be paying yourself. What's 10% of 1,000? That's another $100. $100 goes in the savings account. without even blinking. Okay? Then you should take another 10%. Another 10% should be going to some sort of investment. Some sort of investment, whether it's stocks, whether it's gold, whether it's silver, whether it's bonds, whether it's whatever, mortgage notes, whatever you are investing in. And we'll talk about rule number 8 and 9 here in a moment. So if 30% of it went to the man, and then 10% of it went to savings, and then 10% of it went to investments, that leaves you with what? 50%. Now, here's where the problem comes in for most people. Here's where the problem comes in. Most people say, well, Ced, I can't live on 50%. Yes, you can. Because if you are living on 100% of your check every single week and every single month, you are never going to get ahead. Never. Never. If you are living on 100%. If you are living on 100% of your money, you, my friend, are living above your means. You live in the wrong zip code. Swallow your pride and move in a zip code that you can afford. You are driving the wrong car. The car note that you have should not be what it is. You need to lower the car note. You need to lower the car insurance. You need to stop buying stupid shit at the mall, doing stuff to try to impress people that you do not like, because it's putting you in a situation where every time you get paid, 100% of it is gone. And then you're relying on somebody else, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a significant other, a friend, this, that, whatever, to supplement what you couldn't live on before because you're spending 100% of what's coming in. Now, this is where a lot of networkers get in trouble. Man, oh man, oh man. So many networkers get in trouble with this. It blows my mind how as a networker, you can make $8,000 in a month and you have to spend $8,000 knowing that of that $8,000, 30% of it isn't yours. 30% of it isn't yours anyway. So 2,400 of the $8,000 isn't even yours. Okay. What's 2 times 12? 24,000. What's 4 times 12? Another 36. So literally you made 80 grand and 36 of it goes to the man. But then April the 15th comes around, you get your taxes done, and you look at it, you're like, well, I don't have the 36 grand. You don't have the 36 grand because you never practiced any discipline when you got your check on a regular basis. You thought that it was always going to be sunny. Ladies and gentlemen, it always rains. They say it never rains in Southern California. That's a lie. It always rains. Always. So you've got to have a discipline aspect when it comes down to your money. Because if you don't discipline your money will discipline you. That's a nice meme. If you don't discipline your money will discipline you. Period. End of story. Period. End of story. So pay yourself first. 30% off top going to the man. 10% needs to go towards savings. 10% needs to go toward some sort of investments. And then if you're tithing, you've got another 5 to 10% that's going toward tithing. So if you're tithing on a weekly basis, then you're left with 40 to 45%. You got to learn to live on that 40 to 45%. Now, if you are at life right now saying, Ced, I can't live on 40, 45%. I can't live on 50%. Then go make more money. Go make more money. There's a million ways to make $1 million. Let me say that again for the people in the nosebleed seats. There's a million ways to make $1 million. Choose one, sit still, and focus. And even if that's not your goal, there's 10 million ways to make 100 grand a year. Oh, that's not your goal? There's 50 million ways to make 50 grand a year. Go make more money. So then what you can end up doing is that you get to play this equation with multiple streams of income. Ooh. Did you get that part? Let me say it again. Let me slow it down for you. Then you get to play this equation with multiple streams of income. So if you say, hey, I can't live on this 50% of this check. Okay, great. Then go create another income stream and follow the same equation and take 50% of that. then create another income stream, follow that same equation, and take 50% of that. And before you know it, you're at 300%. Yeah. You know what I figured out in life? People lie. People lie. You know what doesn't lie? Numbers. And you know, everything that we do in life is numbers. Everything's numbers. I don't care what you look at and what you think. No matter what you ever look at in life, and no matter what you ever think, everything is numbers. Everything. Did he say everything? Everything. Just sit still and think about what I just said. Everything is numbers. So pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. 10%, that's paying yourself. That's paying yourself. 10% towards savings, that's paying yourself. 10% toward investments, that's paying yourself. So you've got 20% every week that's paying yourself. Some of you get paid daily. You got 20% a day getting paid to you. So you got to pay you before you pay somebody else, before you pay the bills. Because I can promise you that Wells Fargo, that your landlord, that your grass person, that your pool person, that the child support, that this, that, the blah, 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 blah. They're paying themselves first. Ladies and gentlemen, always remember that a drowning person cannot help another drowning person. A drowning person cannot help another drowning person. Somebody's got to have a life jacket on. Which one are you going to be? The one with the life jacket or the one that's drowning? Your bank account right now is telling you which one you are. Rule number 8. Rule number 8. If you have a job right now, never let someone in a human resource department pick the investments that go inside of your 401k plan or some sort of retirement plan. Never, never. So if you currently have a job right now, and you got a 401k plan, you've got some sort of IRA, you've got some sort of investment vehicle, and you get that job and you walk into the office and they say, hey, it's been 90 days. Now you qualify for our 401k plan, blah, 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 blah. Let's sit down. You can start picking out investments. Now, most people that do this, they have no idea what they're picking. They have no clue. So the first thing that they do is they ask the human resource person that called them into the office, what do you think I should pick? Now, I want to put this into perspective. Whatever job that you have, there's a good chance that the human resource person might make a little bit less than you or just a tinge bit more. Let me repeat that. Whatever job that you currently have right now, and you got a human resource director at that job, you have a human resource director at that job, I can tell you right now that there's a really good chance that that human resource person is either making a little bit less than you or just a tinge bit more. That's it. So if that's the case, why would you ask their advice of where to stick your 401k plan money at? Why would you ask their advice of which sort of retirement vehicle should I really choose? They got the same 20 more years that you have. They've got the same 30 more years that you have. Okay, you make 80 grand a year, they make 72. You make 80 grand a year, they make 92. Whatever the case may be. And I'm just using those as numbers. Those are just fictitious numbers. But when you think about that for a second, you could be asking financial advice from someone who makes less money than you. Remember, I talked about that rule on yesterday. Don't set yourself up for that. So if you don't know what investments you should have in your 401k plan or in your retirement plan, you need to consult a financial advisor. Please don't inbox me. I am not a financial advisor and I don't even like 401k plans, okay? So if you got a job and you do have a 401k plan or some sort of IRA plan or whatever the case may be, I can tell you right now, consult a financial advisor when it comes down to which investments should I be putting my money in. Because 401k plans, they have low risk, medium risk, and high risk investments. And some people just say, you know what, I'm just going to throw some money at it and whatever. You know, y'all are taking, 3% a week out of my check, 5% a week out of my check, and then y'all are going to match it So you're taking 3, 4, 5%, then y'all are going to match it at the same time. And okay, well, it's free money. That's what you think. That's what you think. It's not free money. Roger, what's up? Roger's a financial advisor. He knows what I'm talking about. It's not free money. It's not free money. So if you don't believe what I'm saying right now, I want you to think about this. For any of you that are looking at this right now that might have a financial advisor, that might have a 401k plan or some sort of IRA plan or whatever the case may be. I want you to think about if you took the advice from your human resource person or you took the advice of a fellow employee. Like you make $18 an hour, your friend makes $18 an hour. So you're just going to follow what he or she did with their 401k. If you took that advice for your 401k and or your retirement plan, I want you to go look at your account right now. And when you go look at your account right now, based on what happened in the stock market, literally over the past 90 days, there's a good chance that you took one hell of a shaving. You took one hell of a shaving. Your 401k plan turned into a 23K overnight. And you're like, hold on for a second. How do I get this thing back to 401? It's freaking 19 right now. Good Lord, what happened? You took the advice of someone who works directly with you that is not wealthy. They do the same exact thing that you do. You took the advice from your human resource department person. You took the advice from a good friend of yours. And because you took their advice, your 401k plan just turned into a 39K. Facts. So you've got to look and say, hold on. I need to get with people and ask people who have the results that I want, not the results that I already have. Where should I be investing my money if I have a 401k plan or some sort of retirement account? And that particular rule goes a lot to people that have a job. If you have a job right now and you have some sort of 401k plan and, you got some sort of match at your particular job, that goes for you. A lot of us that are self-employed do not have a 401k plan, okay? If you are self-employed, it's not a bad idea for you to get, well, let me stop. I was getting ready to set myself up because I was getting ready to give investment advice and I had to catch myself because Facebook will come in here and smack me, okay? So be careful with that when it comes down to your 401k plans. Be smart about that if you currently have a job. Also, when it comes down to your 401k plan and retirement accounts, as you are putting money inside of those things, and for whatever reason you come across a hardship, remember, if you go to take that money out of that 401k and you say, oh my goodness, I got 20 grand in there and it's been in there, for 6 years, for 8 years, for 15 years, I need to touch that money right now. You are going to be taxed like a mofo. You're going to be taxed and hit with so many penalties for taking it out early that 20 grand is going to turn into 8 grand. And you can say, what happened? I thought I was getting 20 because you didn't read the fine print when you signed up for the 401k plan because you were taking the advice from your fellow coworker. It's called retirement for a reason. There are certain accounts that you can pull out a little early without a penalty, but a 401k plan is not one of them. So be very, very smart and diligent when it comes down to that. All righty, rule number 9. Are you guys getting any value from this? Is this making sense? Is this making sense to you guys? Let me know if it's making sense. Let me know in the comment section if this is making sense. Tanisha, you can take it now, no fees. Maybe they're waiving it. I don't have a 401k plan. I don't believe in them. But maybe you can take it now and not have any fees because of Corona. Maybe they'll let you do that now because of Corona. Is that why they're doing it, because of Corona? Okay. So they let you pay your taxes late because of Corona. They let you do all these things because of Corona. But one thing I can promise you is that Corona ain't gonna be here for the next 55 years. So if you blow that bread now and you're 29 years old, you better believe that when you need it, when you 45 or 50 and the Corona is gone, it's all gone, you get to sit back and say, the money is gone too. Just telling you. This is why if you're paying yourself first, you won't have to go into your 401k plan. See, if you follow rule number 7, you won't have to go into your 401k plan. Because if you're putting 10% paying yourself every week, and then you're putting 10% toward investments every week, you got 20% going to yourself on a regular basis every single week. That's 80% of your money every single month going to you. You've been doing that for 5 years, for 8 years, for 10 years. Trust and believe you don't need to go touch your 401k plan when it starts to rain outside like it's raining right now. Just saying. All righty, rule number 9. Rule number 9. This one is scary. Rule number 9. When making investments, always invest in things. Anytime you can, always invest in things that you know and understand. When making investments, always invest in things that you know and understand. And if you don't know and understand it, research it before you invest in it. See, this is where people really lose money. Here's a rule of the stock market. Any stockbroker will tell you, don't get emotional. Don't get emotional. Any smart stockbroker will tell you, do not get emotional. It's numbers. So if you invested off of emotion, you saw something just go up, and you invested off of emotion, and you made a decision based off of emotion, there's a good chance that you're going to make the decision to sell off of emotion at the same time. It's a good chance. So here, case in point, there's a bunch of people who bought Bitcoin when it was 7,000. Then Bitcoin tanked and it got down to 4, and they got emotional and they got paranoid. And because they got so emotional, everybody started panic selling because they got emotional. Then all the whales knew that was going to happen. So when it got all the way down to like a little over 4, smart people went in and started buying. They went in and started buying. Ran out all the scared money. All the scared money ran away. Last I checked, Bitcoin was at $6,700, $6,800. It was just at 4,000 a month ago. And when people saw that dip, get me out of here, I'm losing all my money. Or then when people saw it going up, 2 years ago, whatever it was, when it was like that, it just shot out through the moon, right? It went to 10,000, 11,000, 12,000. Then all of a sudden it started getting all this mainstream media attention. The media sells emotion. When are people going to realize that? What makes people buy books? What makes people subscribe to certain channels? Emotion. So the media is selling emotion. They was never talking about Bitcoin before. Then all of a sudden, all the channels, they talking about Bitcoin. So then people that weren't paying attention to it start putting their money in it. Oh my goodness, it's 10,000. It's going to go to 1 million. I got to get in it now. So they get in it, 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, 13. Oh my goodness, then a bunch more people start getting in at 13 and 14,000. Oh my goodness, running up. All the whales are watching this. All the big money people are watching it, just letting the little people just keep pumping it. Then it pumped all the way up to like 19 and some change. And then bang! All the whales said, we're out of here. Time to sell. Let's drive it back down now and get all these people up out of there. So they drove it back down, cashed out at 19 grand, made a killing, made an unequivocal killing, crashed it all the way down to under 10 grand, got all the scared money out of there, and then went right back in and bought it lower. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to understand money and how it goes in waves. You got to understand that. And that's not me saying that as an endorsement on Bitcoin, because again, I am not giving financial advice. Do I like Bitcoin? Sure I do. But I am not giving financial advice. You do what you choose. Because guess what? If you don't know and understand it, you shouldn't be investing in it anyway. Okay? So when you think about stocks, for an example, somebody smart or somebody that you think that's smart, they call you about a specific stock. You don't know if they are part of a pump and dump program or not. Do you understand how many pump and dump programs that are out there? Do you know how many people pay a significant amount of money to be on Yahoo sponsored ads, to promote all these different articles that look like they came from Forbes and all these different places. And then the average person sees it and they're like, oh my goodness, I should buy this. And they go and dump all this money in a penny stock, and all these people start running it up, and then you get all happy and giddy, and then you dump a little bit more in there, and then the people that came in at 2 and 3 cents, they cash out at $3, $4, and then they crash the whole thing back down to 10, 15 cents. I think that happened with one of y'all MLMs not too long ago. I ain't gonna say no names. I think it got something to do with gold. They kept telling y'all to go get some coin that was tied to gold. I mean, I ain't saying no names. I mean, I'm just saying. Everybody was calling me about this because I talk about gold all the time. It's like, well, said this thing is pegged to gold and the coin is going to do this and da 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 da. And I'm like, man, I can smell a pump and dump program 50 million miles away. You guys just don't get it. Go ahead, keep throwing your money into that. Let me know how that works out. Ooh-wee, I know a lot of people who lost a ton of money. And now they're talking about it again so they can try to get some of that money back. This is what happens when you invest in things that you do not know and understand. Don't invest in things that you don't know and understand. And if you look at it and you start to think, man, this looks like a great investment. If it looks like a great investment, it came from a great friend of yours or whatever the case may be, and somebody that you trust and you highly respect, you should still do your research on it. Because guess what? You're not investing their money, you're investing your money. You're not investing their money, you're investing your money. When making investments at the same time, another rule that you have to follow when making investments is never invest money that you are not willing to lose. So don't invest in things that you don't know and understand, and don't invest money that you're not willing to lose, because sometimes you're going to win and sometimes you're going to lose. If you win 51% of the time, you're winning. You're winning. That 1 point could change your life. That 1 point could change your life. Okay, Frank, stop going so hard on my comment section right here. Like you're getting promotion crazy right now. Like, okay, all right, we get it, bro. I'm with you. I believe in you. I understand. I'm with you too. Okay, you just promote now, bro. You going hard. Hold on. I get it. So don't invest money that you are not afraid to lose. So if you got 15 grand, right? And that's all you got to your name. And somebody says, you should invest $10,000 into this XYZ thing. If you are not willing to lose that 10 grand, don't put it up. Don't put it up. You know how many people that have invested their last dollar into something and just lost their head? You know, I saw this movie on Netflix 2 weeks ago. It's a really good movie called Molly's Game. You should look at it. It's really good. It's called Molly's Game. And basically it's a story about a young lady that was very, very competitive, was going for the Olympics and everything, and hurt herself, blah, 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 but she got into running poker games. And I'm not going to get into the deep plot of it for those of y'all that want to see it. But one of the reasons why I think you should look at it is that you'll see how people were so emotional at a poker game, betting so much money and losing their last dollars. And then they get down so low, they keep chasing it now. They just keep chasing it. I got to get it back. You should have never put up $1 million when you knew that if you lost that million, it was going to be a problem. Now you just lost $1 million. You got to pay the house $1 million. Then you go back to the house and like, look, I need a front. I need $500,000. Okay, you can be in the hole for 1.5. Okay, I need a $500,000. Now you get $500,000 fronted to you. Then you lose the $500,000. Now you're chasing the $500,000. Now it's like now I'm down 1.5. Now you're chasing 1.5. It's the same exact thing that happens at the casinos all the time. See, there's a thing called gambling and there's a thing called playing cards. There's a thing called gambling and then there's a thing called playing cards. So I like playing blackjack. So we got the Hard Rock Casino about 15 minutes, 20 minutes away from my home here in Tampa. If any of y'all that ever want to go hang out at the Hard Rock and holler at your boy, it's a great place. It's not only there that you can play cards there, it's just a lot of entertainment, and it's really, really, really freaking fun. It's shut down right now, obviously, because we ain't trying to catch that Rona. However, when I'm at the Hard Rock or when I go to Vegas, I play cards. I don't gamble. So you know the old Kenny Rogers song, Lord Rest His Soul. We lost Kenny Rogers about 2 weeks ago. You got to know when to hold them, and you got to know when to fold them. So when you're up and you're just beating the dealer and beating the dealer and beating the dealer and beating the dealer, and now you start playing progressive. You know, you start off at the $25 table and, you know, you're paying $25 a hand, $25 a hand, $25 a hand. Then you start getting progressive and you bump it up to 50. Then you bump it up to 100. Then you bump it up to 200. Now you know you just went from $25 a hand up to $500 a hand, and you just spanking them. Then all of a sudden some rockhead comes down and starts splitting the wrong cards, start hitting on 17 and 18, doing all sorts of stupid shit. And you're looking at them like, what are you freaking doing? And you keep sitting at the table with this idiot. That idiot is gambling. That idiot is gambling. Okay? Now it's time to get up. You know what? I'm done. I came in with 300. I'm sitting at 4,000. That's a good day. I spent 2 hours here. Let's go home. Because if you keep staying, the casinos start to pump those cents into the doggone vents that they know that there's certain cents that get people to gamble. And then if you keep on winning, they're going to send somebody over to your table called a cooler. And a cooler is a really pretty girl that is just designed to distract you. That's what they're designed to do. And they pay a cooler to come and distract you. So now you got this pretty girl distracting you. Then some of y'all think that they got the girls at the doggone casinos giving you massages because they really want to give you a massage. No, that is to throw you freaking off and relax you so you can keep on playing. Then they got the drink girls. Drinks, cigarettes, black and mild. Drinks, cigarettes, black and mild. So now you sitting there with your Tito's, knocking them bad boys back to back. Boom, 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 boom. Now you on number 8 on your Tito's. You start playing all sorts of stupid stuff. Now you done blew all your money in your pocket. Now you're going to the doggone cashier, taking an advance against your credit card. Now you went home, you went in there to play for $200-$300. Now you're down $7,000, and you just invested money that you couldn't lose. It works every time. It works every time. I was there. What's up, Rusty? So I was talking to Rusty. I was at the Hard Rock. I was at the Hard Rock maybe a month and a half ago or so. So I just had this wild whim. I was like, you know what? You should go play some cards. And I like to follow prompting. So I went up there. So I got disciplined when it comes down to my money. I got disciplined. So I said, I'm only going to go in with $500, and that's it. Because if I lose the $500, then I just lost $500. That's it. I have no access to any credit cards in my pocket. I'm not emotional when it comes to it. If I lose the 500, I lose the 500. I go in there and I'm down. In 30 minutes, I'm down freaking $400 because a couple of geniuses came doing some stupid stuff. And then all of a sudden, I switched tables and I went from $100 up to like $1,700. Then somebody else started playing stupid again. My 17 went down to 14. Then I looked at the deal and I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm out. I'm out. I just tripled my money. I've only been in here for 2.5 hours. I'm good. I'm going to go eat some pizza and I'm going to dip. I just made $1,000 in 2 hours. I didn't come to try to get rich. I came to play some cards. That's it. But most people that have no discipline, they sit and they gamble. And gambling, you don't just do at a casino. You can gamble with the stock market. You can gamble with Bitcoin. You can gamble with oil. Lord knows you can gamble with Forex. Some of y'all do not understand Forex, and you are gambling and you get all emotional because you can put down a little bit of money with Forex and make a whole lot. And then you create these fake accounts and you make all this money with this fake account. And then it's like, you know what? Now I'm going to go real. I know I can do it real. And then all of a sudden you get your head chopped off and you did it with money that you couldn't lose. Never invest money that you can't lose, that you're not willing to lose. So as a part of rule number 9, remember, Never invest in things that you do not know and understand. And if you do not know and understand it, and you want to learn it, and you want to know and understand it, then learn it. Go to YouTube, go to Google, ask some questions, read a book on that investment, whatever the case may be. Spend 2, 3, 4 days or 25 hours straight or whatever you need to do to get that warm and fuzzy feeling to know that, okay, now I know what I'm putting my money in. Because if you don't, and you throw some money at something, you're going to emotionally, when it goes down a little bit, you're going to emotionally pull out real quick because you're scared and you didn't watch the fundamentals. You just didn't watch the fundamentals. You got to pay attention to fundamentals. You got to pay attention. Remember, everything in this world is numbers. Everything is numbers. So rules number 7, 8, and 9. Hope you guys got some bullets from this particular video today. I got to pop on and do a Zoom for my team here in 30 minutes, but I wanted to come in here really quickly and break down rules number 7, 8, and 9 when it comes down to the rules of money. Again, I am no magician. I am no financial advisor. I am not here to try to give you financial advice to tell you what to do with your money. All I'm simply doing is telling you things that I currently do right now, things that I've done in the past, things that I've learned from very, very wealthy people. You can choose to do whatever you want to with your particular $1 bills, because if you make money, I can't spend it. If you lose money, I can't spend that either. You choose to do whatever you want. All I'm going to tell you is this. These rules are not being given to you because I'm retarded and because they don't work. Always remember what happens when you break a rule. There's a penalty when you break a rule. Just like a law, when you break a law, there's a penalty. Always remember that. With that being said, tomorrow we will come back with the rules of money. Rule number 10, 11, and 12. And these are some goodies. So tomorrow morning, I'll pop rules number 10, 11, and 12 on my wall. You'll see it first thing in the morning, about 8 o'clock in the morning. And then in the evening, I will pop in and give commentary on that specific post. With that being said, I hope you guys got some value from this video here today. Thank you so much for popping on. I appreciate all the likes, the shares, the emojis, and all that good stuff. You guys go out there, have a phenomenal day. Make sure that you are practicing your 6 feet. Don't be out there giving nobody that Rona. Don't be giving nobody that Rona. Pray for all the people that may have gotten it. Let's pray for all the people that have been cured at the same time. And let's pray that they take us all off of house arrest real soon so we can go back to a normal life. With that being said, Lord willing, I will be here tomorrow with bells and whistles on, doing it all over again. Until then, go out there and make somebody smile today. You already know why, because they deserve it and so do you. Deuces.